Hey guys, welcome back to Aussie Beekeeping. So today we're going to be throwing some boxes on these guys because it looks like they're bringing in a lot of pollen, and that'll be followed by nectar in the coming weeks. Now I popped down and I had a look at some of the flowers down on the corner block, and it looks like the tea tree's just about to bud. They're not bothering me a great deal, so that tells me that they've found something. So let's get into them. Alright, so I've given these guys a little bit of smoke. Let's have a look. So bee numbers still look good. Basically just an empty frame there, a little bit of honey on this side. So frame 3, brood nest is out here. Those cells are just all empty. No larvae or eggs in between these capped brood cells. Nothing over here. They're a bit noisy. Here we go. So we've got some capped brood, and there are also some eggs in the top of those cells. Sorry, in the cells at the top. They aren't booming, but she's certainly laid. So all through here is laid out, but there's nothing laid out through here. And looks like the queen's laid, hasn't laid anything in there other than the capped brood. So they're a little weak. They're bringing in some pollen. I won't be putting a box on these guys today. There's our queen. She looks okay. So that's good to see. She's looking for somewhere to lay. It's a bit slow though on the lay because she hasn't laid out hardly any of that other frame. Oh, there are eggs and larvae at the top of this frame, but nothing in those darker cones at the bottom. So I'll pop this one back in. Queen has been seen. And nothing happening on this one either. So this queen's really quite slow. I thought she would have been building up by now. Pollen's coming in. I think I put a pollen patty on these guys last week. Anyway, queen's been sighted. honey, plenty of pollen there. She's got plenty of room. We'll close these guys up. So pretty quiet bees. Now I put a frame in these guys last week of eggs and larvae. They've obviously eaten their pollen patty. A bit mouldy. Few drones. I'd expect to see a lot more drones in this hive, or see a lot of drones in this hive, because of the amount of drone brood there was 2 weeks ago. Good population. They're super quiet, which they were super quiet before all this kerfuffle as well. Oh, queen cell. So we've got a queen cell there. And just look at the amount of drones. You know, if you go through and you count them, just from here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's just a drone. Every second bee is a drone. More drone brood. I suppose the good thing about that is that because this is the Italians and they're good genetics, I'll have some good mated queens this year. Now what I am going to do just before, what I am going to do is I am going to check, see how many eggs are in each cell. Maybe I'll check the next frame. Possible this is the frame that I added. Yes, it is. It's got normal brood on it. No. There's no eggs in there at all. No queen cells. I might shake this one off and have a look. So there aren't any eggs in any of those cells. I'll do the same thing to this frame. Nope, so again, no eggs in that frame either. We'll have a look in this last one. I feel like this is all honey. I might look in that one which has got some drone brood in it, which I think was this one here. Nope, that's the normal brood. This is the drone brood frame. Is it? Nope, must have been that other one. Let's have a look at this one. So it's possible that I've actually stopped the drone layer. I have read up and it said that if you add frames of normal brood, you can actually slow down and even stop the rate of the drone layer laying. Let's have a look at this frame. So I can't see one egg in there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to shake this frame off. I'm going to leave that one aside to remind myself. And what I'll do is I think I'll put another frame in these guys. See if we can't turn them around. Alright. We'll update you on that in a minute. Alright, so a little puff at the front door. Pretty windy today, as you probably have already guessed. Jump straight in. Nectar, empty cells. Pollen, a little bit of old honey. Bit of comb down the bottom there. Queen's been laying up a storm. There's even brood down in those bottom cells. Probably should get rid of that, but I'm not going to. So there's even brood all the way up through here. And yet again, brood, eggs even up in these ones right near the pollen. So that's okay. You can see this looks like it's all drone brood going by the size. So I'm going to hack that off. Just give it a shake to make sure the queen's not there. Put that one back in. Frame 3. Ripper of a frame. Eggs and larvae right up through the top here. Sorry about the wind, guys. Eggs laid up right into this top part of the frame here, and the same thing over there. Now hopefully I can find the queen. Because what I'm going to do is I'll do a demo ray on these. Same deal. Eggs and larvae right up into here. So they're festooning down the bottom. Looks like they're going to be building some comb. More eggs and larvae right up the top into that area up there. Haven't spotted the queen yet. We know she's there. Eggs and larvae right through all those empty cells as well. So she's doing a good job. even eggs on this frame here. So in the last couple of days, she has absolutely taken off. Just pollen in those cells. Right, another quick look for the queen. Right. Got the queen excluder off that blue hive next door. Oh, actually there's a queen excluder from this one as well. So, queen excluder on. Alright, so purple hive. Good numbers. Looks like a honey frame. Bit of pollen down there in the bottom. Same deal, pop that one aside. Brood. Eggs and larvae right down the bottom there. Queen cup there, nothing in it. Good brood pattern. Solid brood pattern, and also good brood eggs, larvae laid around. So judging by that, they've still got a frame to go before they hit the end of the box. This frame here looks like it's empty. I know, a little bit of nectar coming in, look at that. Honey on the other side from last year, I'd say. Really good brood pattern. I'm keeping an eye out for the queen. Pollen down here, milk brood, queen cup. You can see there a bit of pollen coming in, two different colours, another bit there. Look at the colour of that one, that's almost white, yellow, so there's a few different flowering plants. And these guys know it. A lot of pollen in the centre there. Pollen through here. No eggs, but there is milk brood. They're really doing well. Feels like that wind has dropped off a little bit, which is good for you guys and good for me, but it's not so noisy. Honey. Haven't spotted that queen. Just pollen in those cells. Look at the pollen just sitting there on the frame. That bee's just grabbing that pollen. I probably knocked it out of that previous frame. So they've eaten all their stores. I think that was capped. There's a bit more on that side. Alright, so what am I going to do with this one? I'm going to put a box on these guys as well. I think just because of the quality of brood. I'd like to do Demeray. I'd like to do a Demeray, but can't find the queen. Not that I'm looking that hard. Anyway, so box on there, excluder. Tighten that brood nest back up so the frames are touching. That way they won't build it any bigger than it needs to be. And I'll get that box sorted. So these boxes I'm putting on are basically a mix of crush and strain frames and also extracted frames as well. In between each one, that way they'll keep a good straight line when they fill them out. Space these out a little bit. They're looking good.